Hello and welcome to my channel. If you'd like to join any of my weekly meetings or book a private session with me, please click on the links below or go to my website. So, being alive, being here in this room, in this life, with all the things that go on, with everything that goes on, the whole of it, everything, cannot be understood by the mind. I think that's sometimes why people feel like they haven't got there yet, because there is no there. But I think that's what can get in the way, because it's like the mind will tell me when I'm there, or I'll have an experience where the mind will interpret that as I've got there. Hi, Jim. But the mind is just another happening in this. It's not, it will never have the answers. This life is too wild for the mind to comprehend. So you can understand why, it's possible to think that I haven't, it's not clicked yet, it's not clicked. Well, nothing clicks. Life is endless. Endless. Have you noticed? It's endless. It never stops happening. There's nothing that stays the same. Even if the day feels similar to yesterday, it's completely not yesterday. It's here. It's relentlessly here. It just continues without going anywhere. Hi, Phyllis. It just continues without going anywhere. And that can't be understood. And even if there's a sense of like, yeah, whatever the sense is, it cannot be understood by the mind. The beauty of this life in its absolute infinity, endless life cannot be understood in the known. The known is always of rationale. So if someone's saying to you or implying to you, not you personally, but as a whole, that you cannot get this until you understand this, well, the understanding would just be an understanding. It wouldn't be, there'd still just be here happening, whatever that is. And here, what's happening is completely, it's boundless, it's free, it's wild, it's the stars, it's the earth, it's the mind, it's the feelings, it's the plants, it's everything. Science understands it through the mind, which is interesting, but not an answer, because science is always changing its mind about what this is. And, quantum scientists, even, they're perplexed. They just don't know, because there's just no end to the where they can go with it. There's just no end to it. It's just, even when they've got down to Planck length, in then quantum fields, and they still don't know what that means. They can't measure it. The mind, the knowledge is measurement. When just the simplicity of what we could call existence cannot be quantified into the written word. Though we can get a sense of it through the written word or the spoken word, and even through anything actually, nature, music, art. or anything at all, anything. Oh, it's my cat. I thought it was a creature. A critter. My drink matches my shirt. So that can be frustrating, wanting to quantify what life is, when really the free fall, what we could call the free fall, is the absence of knowing, is the absence of holding on to anything. It's the absence of the security of knowing. And that is so open and beautiful, but no one can speak of it because it can't be transcribed into language, because language is the formulation of ideas. And language is beautiful, and it's a beautiful thing, but it cannot quantify the whole of life, the wonder of life. If there's no confirmation of it, how do you know that this is it? I can only speak from my experience that there's this happening. Do I need to know that? Do you need to know that you're there, that what is happening is there? Is that a knowledge? Or is that something that doesn't need to be known? Is there just there? Or in your case, here? Because there's only one here. Only one. Your here is the only here. As mind-boggling as that is. Doesn't need to be known. No, it doesn't need to be known, does it? But we can't, can you talk about that? Can you talk about that? It's impossible to speak of. The being here cannot be spoken of. There can be nice descriptions of how one feels or thinks, but that doesn't really mean much to anybody else. And when I say this, it's not that I think there's anything wrong with the mind. There's not. The mind is a wonderful tool. It's wonderful to imagine. I love to imagine my paintings and plan where perhaps I'm going to go traveling, or, these sorts of things. But no, it's not going to give me an answer to life, the universe, and everything, because it's already answered. It's already answered in a sense. But it's not answered for me. It's just answered. It's just is itself. And I'm sure there are many, many things that, well, I can only talk about myself, for me to uncover in this. And I do like to uncover things. But that's just my own personal things. It doesn't mean it's the truth. Because there's no truth. That's for everybody. Because there's only one here. And that's where it is for you. There's only one there. Maybe he means that nothing does appear as something. That's why there's the everything aspect to examine as well, instead of kind of negating everything. Yeah, maybe. But how does anyone know that nothing, that everything ultimately comes from nothing? How could one know that? What if it doesn't? What if it comes from itself? What if it is itself, being itself, and it's not coming from nothing? Just plug your new book. Still haven't finished it. Oh, it's because my editor's like, yeah, let's get on with it. I'm like, yeah, let's get on with it. And then 2 weeks go by and I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I get so distracted by nothing. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, no. Because there was all these different ideas of what the truth is. So which one of them is true? How about scrapping all of them? How about just scrapping all of them? See what happens. And there's this conference. Yeah. Life goes on. Stuff goes on. That's right. But the beauty in there being no narrative at all about this. It's beautiful. And I can't say what that is or why that is. But I'm sure that you must know what I mean. But maybe some of you see that, but then try to pin it down to something. Oh yeah, I've got to get hold of that. You can't get hold of it. It's totally in free fall. It's impossible. Going back to Arrival, my mind tries to get the film's concept, a bit like it tries to get life. David Lynch. Okay, was it David Lynch? Was it? Oh. Yeah, exactly. It tries but you can't get the concept in Arrival. You just can't get it, but you know it. It's like you know it, but you can't rationalize it. It's like you know you're here, but you can't rationalize it. You know that life is here, but it doesn't make any sense to the rational mind unless you go into theory, concept, or ideas or dogmas, so that the mind can make sense of it. But if there are no theories, dogmas, ideas, the mind cannot make sense of it. That's why it's such a good film to watch. Because you can't rationalize it, but you know it. It's like everybody already knows the simplicity of life just being here. But you can't explain it. You could try, but it'll be inadequate. So this can't be seen, can't be arrived at, can't be thought of, can't be heard, can't be touched, can't be. Yeah, but it is though, isn't it? It just is. It just is. You can't arrive here because you've already arrived, or did you even leave? So you can't have arrived or left. It can't be thought of. Well, you can think of it, but it's still this, isn't it? Even the thoughts of this, so it doesn't make any difference. It can't be heard. No, there are sounds, but there are sounds that happen, but that's just sounds, isn't it? It's not the whole of it, but it still is. That's the wonder. Despite everything, it still is. Yes, feels like I know it. Something knows it, but can't get it. Exactly. That's how it is for me too. I know it. It is, but I don't get it or want to get it because it's too beautiful. It's beyond getting. Beyond it. Because what is it to get it? It means to understand the intelligence that is everything, or whatever you want to call it, the creation that is everything. Having the arrogance to understand the creation, even though we are part of the creation, because there's no separation between anything. It's all just the one happening, but thinking that my little mind, which is used to remember where I put my keys, can understand and know the whole of creation, when it is the whole of creation already.